Good morning, everybody. My name is TJ Jones, of course. I'm the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And um, this isn't really a podcast per se. This is more of just a little talk. And, I'm making this video because there are a lot of individuals who always like hit me up on social media, or they'll email me and they'll ask me about a podcast. They always say stuff like, TJ, I want to start a podcast. TJ, what I'm saying, I want to start my own business and stuff like that, and always asking me for advice. And, most of the time, I be in the middle of a show and people ask me stuff like that, but I don't really go in depth about how to, start a podcast, start a business or whatever like that. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I kind of avoided the whole situation because, when people ask me about, how did I start a successful podcast? Like, how did I, start working on all these different things? And, to be honest with you, I really can't tell you, or really couldn't tell you, like, how things just started to work out for me. I really couldn't, like, thing about it is the only thing I really just had was a whole bunch of passion, a whole bunch of love for what I did. And I ended up like turning my love and my passion into a, actual podcast. So this podcast right here, and I understand, it's probably not going to, have a lot of people on it, but this is for like the people that want to start a business or they want to start a podcast, and just give you a few pointers. I mean, they may work for you, they may not. The first thing that I would suggest people to do is to really just do some soul searching. By soul searching, I mean, why did you start your business, or why did you start the podcast in the first place? Like, why are you doing this? Like, are you doing it because you want to get attention? Are you doing it because, if you're a guy, you want girls to be sliding in your DMs? If you're a lady, you know what I'm saying? Do you just want a whole bunch of people just to marvel at you and celebrate you? And if that's the case, then my suggestion to you is to don't do it, because all these overnight success stories that they have out here are, what I'm saying, like, it's not always like that. You know what I'm saying? I know we watch TV, we watch these movies, and you see people walking down the street, and all of a sudden, what I'm saying, they just so happen to have this photographer or this producer to make their dreams come true. It doesn't work like that, man. Anything that you have to do, you have to put a lot of hard work and a lot of passion into it. So my number one suggestion to anybody trying to start a business or podcast is to have the passion, because there are going to be times when you're going to feel like you're the only one that's feeling what you're doing. I mean, it might be family members who you think going to be by your side, don't end up being in your corner. There's going to be people that's telling you why you doing this, why you wasting your time. So my number one suggestion for anybody that's trying to start a business or a podcast is, the number one, have passion. Number two, you gotta have the determination to do it. You gotta have like this fearless spirit about yourself, because there are going to be some times when you're going to really have to take some risk. You're really going to have to take some risk and go out there and try to make some things move, and try to make some things shake. Like, you can't like just be timid and expect for your business to grow or your podcast to grow. You have to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And also, you can't be afraid of the word no. And I was one of those people, man. I was one of those people that was afraid to hear the word no anytime. I was thinking about asking somebody something or wanting something. I always would like backtrack because I was afraid of people telling me no. But when I realized that, no is not the end of the world, that's when things just start to work out for me. Like, there are times when I reach out to individuals to be a part of the podcast, rather it's emails, or rather it's the fact that I might end up finding like information online. And, people will say stuff like, oh, we're not interested right now. Or, Like we're not looking in that direction right now. Now, there's a couple of times when I heard this on consistent basis. Now I can do two things. I can one, I can just wrap it up and just say, oh man, this whole operation just a failure. Or number two, just think of it as not right now. Because sometimes no don't mean no completely. It just means not right now. And maybe you just need to work a little harder to pursue that. So don't ever be afraid to hear the word no. Uh Number three, consistency. Consistency, man. When you're doing your podcast thing, you got to be consistent. You got to look at it almost like like it's television, you know what I'm saying, or like a routine or a job, like I know sometimes I'm exhausted. I get up in the morning, I take Paxton to school, you know what I'm saying, I'm working, I'm doing things doing on the radio station and all type of other things, but at the same time I understand that people have an investment in the State of the Saints podcast. And sometimes, I be exhausted, I'm tired, but I push through it because there are people that want that content. And there are going to always be things that are going to be pushing you away. And there's always going to be reasons why you can't do it. But you have to continue to keep pushing forward. You have to continue to be consistent. Rome wasn't built in a day. It wasn't. Rome wasn't built in a day. You have to continuously make people believe in you. You got to constantly make people want to invest in you, and it takes consistency. And sometimes, like I said, you're going to feel like you're talking to yourself. Every morning when I get up, y'all know what I do. The first thing I do is I look at a picture of my very first episode of the State of the Saints podcast when only 4 people check that podcast out. 4. I look at that every single day. And it's because it motivates me. It makes me and helps me to remember, where I came from. And it helps me to appreciate, all the individuals that make the show what it is right now. So there are going to be some times where you probably start off only just a few individuals, but just have that love and have that passion for what you're doing and believe in the process. I always often say about, when I was in my 20s, I decided to grow dreadlocks. And, when you first growing these dreadlocks, you got these little ugly BBs in your head, man. You're twisting your hair every 2 weeks. It's looking ugly, you know what I'm saying? After you lay down, do-rag falling off your head. You call that the ugly stage, right? But you're actually building in order for your hair to grow out to these long, luxurious locks. You're growing into something beautiful. So I look at those pictures sometime and you watch, you know what I'm saying? I watch the process of my hair growing. And I think about, man, you know what I'm saying? I had some rough days. Those early stages of your business, the early stages of your podcast, those are your ugly stages. But you're building into something beautiful. So always remember that. Remember that process. Appreciate the process. Appreciate the drive, you know what I'm saying, of it all. So I just want to let everybody know out there, man, don't ever stop dreaming. Always just continuously work towards your dream. And another thing, let me talk about these haters, man. There's always going to be some people out here that's hating on you because they see you actually doing something with yourself. There's always going to be people out here that's trying to tear you down and want you to be around them because misery loves company. So my advice is to don't listen to the white noise, because people don't see your dreams the way that you see them. People don't see your visions the way that you see them. Some people going to feel like it's just a waste of time. Some people going to feel like, oh, you know what I'm saying, you're just wasting your time doing this. And because they don't understand the love and the passion that you have for it. My advice is don't listen to those individuals. Because once you become a success and once you start working towards your dreams and your dreams start to become a reality, people are going to look back and realize that, dang, you know what I'm saying, this person really wanted it. And they become supporters in the process. A lot of people, that I would have thought in the beginning was in my corner at first, they weren't there. You know what I'm saying? I basically had to make believers out of them. A lot of people used to ask me, TJ, like, You know, I see you doing your your podcast and stuff like this. And at the time, you know, I wasn't making no money for no podcast. I mean, I was just, I was just a guy with a dream. And then all of a sudden, you know, people was like, you know, how much money you making? How much money you making? You know what I'm saying? But it was like, I ain't making no money right now, but I'm building towards it. And they make it seem like it's just a waste of time because, you know, the end result don't result in money. But you have to see the bigger picture. And, you know, some of those same people now, you know, have talk to me in 30 45 minutes about different players and what I need to talk about on my show and all these different things. Sometimes you got to turn them skeptics into believers, you know, and sometimes you got to believe in the process. Sometimes you can feel alone in a room full of folks. I'm gonna say that again. Sometimes you can feel alone in a room full of folks because you're the only one that's buying into your dreams. Don't listen to nobody. Don't listen. I don't care if it's your close family members. Believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Believe in what you have. And I guarantee you're going to be a success. Um, Another thing I want to suggest to people that's trying to start a podcast, you know, make sure, man, make sure that you are not just giving people boo-boo. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you're giving people quality content, man. Don't think about the end result. Don't be like, man, I can, you know what I'm saying, make a little money. You know what I'm saying? I can, like, make sure that you're giving people quality content, man. Make sure that you're giving people quality stuff. Like, make sure, like, people love what you're doing. And if you have to think in the back of your mind, like, man, I don't feel like I need to be doing this, maybe you shouldn't. I tell y'all all the time, man, it's times where I really don't do shows on a certain day because I know I'm not gonna give y'all my all. You know what I'm saying? Because I owe that to the audience. I owe that to the people. You know, like, so make sure you never forget about the people. You know, never forget that you are creating content for these people to enjoy. And another thing, when you get on, because if you follow these steps, you will get on. Never ever forget about the people that got you where you need to be. Don't ever feel like you can stick your chest out and just get so arrogant and so cocky, like, oh, I done made it, oh, I have it all this noise there. Always remember the people that made you who you are, the people that invested in you, the people that was big up in you, the people that was supporting you when nobody was. Always remember those individuals. Please don't ever get so big for your britches, man, to a point you forget about those people. Rather you're doing a podcast or in some type of business. I see a lot of people, you know, they grow up, they become successful, they get into these careers, they get cocky, they get arrogant, they get full of themselves, and they forget about those teachers that instilled that knowledge in them. They forget about that neighbor that probably gave them a couple little dollars for a field trip. They forget about that church that raised some money in order for them to be able to buy some things when they went off to college. Or, you know what I'm saying, a person that gave them that loan in order for them to start that business. Or in this case, in a podcast, people that looked at this and say, hey, man, look, check this dude out right here, man. He got a podcast. I think you'll enjoy. Never forget about those people. Always remain humble, man. Always remain humble. My grandfather always say, you know, you want to make sure, you know what I'm saying, like, you don't burn your bridge down because you never know when you have to cross that bridge again. Remember that, folks. Never try to burn down a bridge. That's why, you know, like, I try to create relationships with other podcasters, you know, like, because I want them to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I get to interview all these amazing people. And you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing, yeah. But I'm not looking at, oh, I'm interviewing this person. You know, I ain't got no time for this person. Nah, man. Because I can remember sitting up in that room. I can remember, like, feeling like I was the only person, you know what I'm saying, I was talking to. You know, I was talking to an audience of one, and that one was me. And I never forget that. So always remain humble, no matter what you're trying to do in life. No matter if your business start taking off, your podcast start taking off, remain humble, man. You know, and remember, you know what I'm saying, you're setting the example. You don't know who life you're affecting. You don't know who life you're affecting by what you're doing. You may just look at it, oh, I'm just having a good time, or I'm just doing my job. But there's a lot of people out there that's looking at you, and remember that. Always treat people with respect and love. always big up those individuals and give them their flowers as well as you grow. You know what I'm saying? As you bloom, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're that daisy, remember that other, you know what I'm saying, that daisy on the side of you that's growing alongside of you. Remember that. You know, that is some advice I would just give to people, you know, quality content. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you do your due diligence, your research. Make sure that you have that love and that passion for what you're trying to do, and just don't give up. You know, don't give up. And there are people out there that's gonna there don't be people out there that want to sabotage you. Yes, I'm saying it. They're gonna have people out there that want to sabotage you. It's not a day that don't go by, or you know, time don't go by. I see somebody on social media, you know, trying to discredit me for a comment that I made, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. When you start to grow, when you start to like become something better, once again, people are gonna try to drag you down. It's just a fact. They see you smiling, happy on social media, probably taking a trip, or you probably got a smile on your face, showing all 30 plus of your teeth. You know what I'm saying? They probably wondering to themselves, man, look, why they so happy? You know, like, and they probably want to drag you down. You probably feeling good, looking good, living your best life. People still gonna be trying to tear you down. But you know what? That means you're doing something right. That means you're doing something right. And that's the way that I look at it. That's the way that you should look at it. So once you start to develop, there are more and more people that are gonna be trying to, you know, do things to try to get into your mind. And I know this from experience, man. Look, I don't always have it together sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, I slip and fall into that little trap of, you know, worrying about what people think about me and all that kind of stuff. But I just realized that it doesn't get me anywhere. It won't get you anywhere. Worrying about what people say, going back and forth on social media. Oh, you said this, you said that. You know what? Why am I doing this? If I'm comfortable with myself, I'm going in the right direction. Why am I wasting my time with this? So they're going to come, but don't let it get to you. Just continue to focus on the goal. Man, shouts out to everybody that's still on the live, man. Like I said, I know this ain't really Saints related. I mean, I got this plastered across several platforms. But like I said, a lot of people ask me about the podcast thing, ask me what I do. It's like honestly, there's no big secret, man. You know, you see all these different people online. I'm gonna tell you how to start a successful business. Like it might work for you, but it might not work for everybody else. But drive, determination, and passion. I mean, those are the three steps for me, and I feel like it can work for anybody. But just love what you're doing, man. I love Saints football. Like I love it, man. Like I hope that everybody can feel that passion every time I get in front of a camera, I get behind a microphone. Like I love Saints football, man. I grew up in this city. Like, you know, New Orleans is coursing through my veins. You know what I'm saying? Like I love my city. You know what I'm saying? I'm certified New Orleans, no matter where I'm at. Right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm outside chilling. You know what I'm saying? At my house. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside. I'm having, you know, enjoying talking to you all. You know, like, but man, New Orleans is my city. New Orleans is my city, man, and I love talking about the Saints. Chanel, thank you very much for the 14.99. Says TJ, you're making my day with this chat. Exhausted from switching day shift to night shift constantly. You're turning my day around while I sip coffee from my SOTS cup. Chanel, thank you so much, and you know I can attest to that. But Chanel, you know, shouts out to you, and shouts out to all the first responders out there, man. Y'all the real heroes. You know, y'all the real heroes out here, man. Through the pandemic, you know, like y'all risk y'all lives to save others. You know, and we're appreciative for that. A lot of people, you know, that lost their lives due to COVID-19. A lot of people that was on the front line doing their thing. People like Chanel, people like my beautiful wife Ashley. You know, like she was out there, man. I can remember like she had the whole biohazard suit on from head to toe, outside in the hot sun in the summertime, man. Shouts out to all those first responders out there, man. They're trying to keep everybody healthy and safe and everything like that, man. Y'all the real MVPs. Other podcaster says we love us some TJ. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, other podcasters, for the $2. Let me go ahead and let me go ahead and read a couple more, man, because man, y'all make this what this is, man. Y'all make the State of the Saints podcast. So many of y'all, man. Shouts out to Terrence, man. Terrence coming back for, the double shift. Terrence was on the show last night. Ramsey says, absolutely, TJ, my friend Joe tried to turn me down. So much being a musician, I ignored that white noise, became the best musician, nearby jazz and blues, metal, and every general music. Yeah, that's what I said. Understand this. I don't think friends do things sometimes to be mean or facetious. I think that sometimes they just don't see the dreams the way that you see it. Like it's just what it is, man. Like when you have a passion and a love for something, the people that you love sometimes are not going to see it the way that you see it. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's not their dream. That's not their lane. That's not their vision. And there's nothing wrong with that. But understand what you want. Understand what you want. Understand what the end game is for you. Because like I said, sometimes you're going to feel all alone. When you're trying to build something, you're going to feel all alone, and there's nothing wrong with that. But those nights where you feel alone, or those days you feel alone, remember why you're doing it in the first place. Remember that goal. Wherever it is, man, set goals for yourself. Write it down. Look at it every day. Look, create affirmations for yourself. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to encourage yourself. You have to encourage yourself sometimes. Sometimes, people may not be able to tell you the right things, or there may not be a person around you to tell you these things. And sometimes you're going to have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you're going to have to believe in yourself and say to yourself, I got this. So Ramsey, if you would have listened to your friend, things wouldn't have worked out the way that you wanted them to work out, man. But you remembered who you are. You knew what you wanted, and you went for it. So shouts out to you, Ramsey. Terrence says, told you you was going to blow in due time. This is the only podcast I decided to follow and share. Terrence, thank you so much. And Terrence been rolling for a long time, man. Shouts out to you, Terrence. Terrence been rolling. I mean, one of the first people that was on the Facebook page when I first started it, man. So shouts out to you, Terrence. Terrence, keep that dialogue going, man. So shouts out to you, man. I appreciate that. Aaron says big W. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Aaron. Aaron's another one. Aaron out here, had a dream, a passion, loved the Saints, come through. I mean, aggressive, compassion, passionate. Every time you hear him behind the mic, you hear that passion. You know what I'm saying? You hear that love. Now this man is over 1,000 subscribers, man, and up. And I mean, it ain't going nowhere. He only gonna get higher than that. All because he had a passion and a love for what he's doing, man. So, man, shouts out to Aaron and the Black and Gold Breakdown podcast. And if you ain't checking out that podcast, something wrong with you. Black and Gold Breakdown podcast by Jerry, another one. Jerry original. I mean, first 4 subscribers, I think Jerry was number 2. My mom was, Jerry was number 3. My first, my unapologetic page was number 1. My mom was number 2, and Jerry was number 3. When I started the podcast, Jerry been rolling for a long time. So I'm appreciative of Jerry Poole, man. I really am. Casual Decks, like Casual Decks. I mean, looking at this profile right here, that's actually a shirt. You know what I'm saying? That Casual Decks got. You know what I'm saying? State of the Saints podcast shirt out there in Canada. Shouts out to Casual. Mom said, hello, Jerry. God bless you. And thank you for your support. My mom, is a avid supporter of the State of the Saints podcast. My mom always showing me love. My mom is always like supporting the podcast and always giving me ideas about, what to do. When you got some wonderful people in your corner, you got people who love you and support your dreams and push you. I mean, it's an amazing thing. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm going to scroll back up, man, because, ain't got a lot of people on the live, which I kind of expected. Definitely true. Most people only show you the ending result and not the process. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, when you look on social media, I want people to understand this. When you're looking on social media, you're looking at people highlights. You're looking at the highlights of people's lives, right? You're looking at some of their best moments. You're looking at, their life at its apex. The problem is we put a person's highlights up against our actual life, and we feel like if I'm not doing this, then I'm not doing nothing at all. You don't know what that person did to even get to that point. I mean, you really don't. Like, you only see the end result. I mean, you probably don't see the things that had to move and shake around in order for them to take that trip. You probably don't. You probably didn't see like the ugly times where, it took them in order for them to make some of these pictures and make some of these dreams a reality. We only look at the highlights of people's lives, and we put it up against ourselves, and we feel as if we're not worthy. But you are worthy. That may be that person's time at that particular time, and your time is coming up. But the problem is sometimes we squander our own time because we shut ourselves down based on looking at somebody else's highlights. That's a no-no. Don't look at somebody's life as envy. Look at somebody's life as motivation. If we start to turn people's, those highlights that we're looking at into motivation, then we'll look at it like, man, you know what? My time is coming. You know, my grandfather often tells the story, and I told this before in the past. And I always talk about my grandfather because I mean he tells such great stories. He was talking about a man who was looking out his kitchen window. He was looking, across the street, and he seen a man with a brand new car. And then he looked a couple houses down. He seen another one of his neighbors with a brand new car. And he looked a little further. He seen another neighbor with a brand new boat. And every time this man looked, he got angrier and angrier. But he didn't realize while he was getting angry, he didn't understand that God was in his neighborhood. Like you seeing these neighbors next to you getting blessings on blessings on blessings. But you're looking at it like, I want that too. Now realizing that your time is coming up. So don't look at those people out there with envy or malice. Look at it as, my turn is coming up. Because look at these individuals, you know what I'm saying? Like what I'm doing right now, I'm going to be able to do some of these things too. So understand that when you're looking at that, God is in your neighborhood. My question is, do you believe it? I mean, some of y'all probably don't believe in a higher power. I do. But do you believe that he's in your neighborhood? Like I tell people all the time, I was born and raised in the Ninth Ward. I went to, you know, I didn't go to the best schools in the world. Shouts out to Colton, shouts out to Culver High School. You know what I'm saying? I love my high school, love my middle school, elementary school and stuff, but I didn't go to the best. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my mouth, but I had people around me that loved me, that nurtured me, that believed in me, and I believed in myself. I continue to believe in myself. I'm not remotely where I want to be. I still got goals that I want to reach. I still got things I want to do. Like so. Just believe. Like that's the question you have to ask yourself, and that's what I encourage everybody to do. Like ask yourself, like, do you believe it? Like, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in what you're doing? Do you love what you're doing? Are you passionate about what you're doing? This is when you know you got real passion. Real passion is like food and water. You can't live without it. Like if you didn't have it, you would die. That's real passion. If I didn't have a mic, I don't care about the webcam so much. If I didn't have a microphone to express myself, like I feel like almost as if I was to die of thirst, or I would die because, you know what I'm saying, of starvation. That's how I feel when it comes to broadcasting. You know, I'm just being 100. Let me see. My mom said, I hope this is don't break your heart, TJ, but I don't watch for you. I only watch to see IB comments. Dude is a beast on the comedy tip. Nah, man, he jokes around a lot. You know, that's I be ripping him. You know, but that he's only joking. That wasn't really my mom right there. My mom be in that chat, boy. My mom would be ready to attack these trolls for your boy. Good morning, TJ. Best podcast going. Keep up the great work. Man, y'all, man. Shouts out to my mom, man. Mom is all right. Stand down, mama. Stand. Someone really coming in and impersonating TJ mom. How sad can you be? Nah, it's all right, man. It's all right. My mom gonna get him though. TJ, like me, in video games as well as video games is one of the other biggest passions. Same, the card game, Magic and Gathering. I love those. I always want to get better at those. I mean, if that's your passion, I mean, do it. Go for it. Go for it, man. Go for it. You know. But that's the advice I have for people. I wasn't trying to be on loan. I just wanted to answer people questions because, I mean, look, it's not a week that goes by almost like every other day somebody asking me about a podcast or talking about a business. But that's the best advice I can give to everybody. You know, that's the best advice I can give to you, man. Like I'm not I ain't no Tony Robbins or anything like that. You know, I'm not, telling people that, or somebody that say you can make $1 million in a month. Like I'm not one of those people, man. I'm still building, I'm still growing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just trying to elevate myself. You know, there's a lot of, steps that I have to, still have to climb. But just know, trust that process. Appreciate the process. Appreciate that love. I'll read a few more, man. They are attacking. They're attacking that person in the chat. Yeah, you can't come from a mom now. Can't come for. I'm waiting on to stick to be. Let me see. I'm waiting on the stick to be legal so I can grow. Well, I mean, the cannabis business is thriving right now. I assume that's what you're talking about there. I mean, investing in the stock market right now. Top of the morning, TJ. The show was off the chain last night. You going to have to do it again, brother? Yeah, man. Next week I'm trying to have Big Q on the show, man. I'm trying to have Big Q on the show next week. I reached out to him. I'm pretty sure. I think at the time I reached out to him, he was still going live. So, if Big Q go live, make sure y'all ask him to check his Instagram inbox, man. I'm trying to get him on the show next week. Definitely trying to get him on the show, man. Definitely trying to get him on the show. It's been a while since I chopped it up with Big Q. Do a show with him together, and I want to do shows with other guys as well, man. I'm gonna be collabing with a lot of people. I'm gonna be calling on a lot of people, especially like in the fall when the Pigskin Podcast Network kick off. I want to make sure I get a lot of Saints podcasters on there, man. Try to get some opportunities there, man. We can grow together. That's what it's all about. And TJ, we love this podcast. Continue it every day. You make my morning when you go live. Ramsey, I appreciate that, man. And keep that love for that video games, man. And don't listen to anybody. Just focus on that love. And I got Greg saying, yeah, like I said, man, I want to do something with Big Q. Probably gonna be reaching out to a couple more podcasters. As the time go on. I got some inquiries coming up, trying to get some players on the show, man. So getting some feedback, man. I've been talking to agent of a Saints player. Hopefully, I can hear back, pretty soon about that. I'm gonna try to get y'all the best content I can, man. That's me, TJ. I'm on that Coinbase right now. I'm shooting to be a millionaire. Yeah, I'm investing in Dogecoin, man. Right now, it's not really doing too good, but those big Bitcoins and crypto currency in general, it'd be up and down, but hopefully it work out for me one day. Black and Gold Breakdown Podcast says I'm down to help give exposure to some people. Yeah, man. Aaron, he doing his thing out there as well. So Definitely gonna get Aaron on the show soon. Like I said, all this stuff, man. I mean, look, in the fall, Amaze Media Lab, shouts out to them. Pigskin Podcast Network. They're going to be partnering with the State of the Saints podcast. We got to, have a bigger platform in the fall for the 2021 season. And I'm going to be calling on some folk, man. There's a lane for everybody to eat out here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get a little bit of exposure. So I'm in no way just looking at it like, oh, man, I want it all for me. Look, I ain't no greedy thing over here. I think there's a lane for everybody. I think there's opportunity for everybody because everybody is different. And if I can help people along the way, then I'll be glad to do so. Chemo said, man, the show was so epic. My wife was pumped listening to old girl talk that heat. Yeah, Carly know her football, man. Carly Pretty on Twitter is her name. Like Carly from the Ninth Ward, just like me across the canal. She was born and raised in New Orleans. She loves football, man. She know that football, and she talk that talk, man. She talk that talk, and she's really good at what she does. Man, she's special. CB is as well, man. So they're both special. They got really good content over there. WD and chat line. Ramsey said, yo, TJ, for this YouTuber called Backyard Blitz, it had short line fans. If you want any perspective on a different team, reach out to him, fam. Yeah, I try to follow everybody. I don't just stick to just Saints football. I try to follow everybody because you never know. Like, man, I was on a Philadelphia Eagles podcast. I was on a Raiders podcast. So you never know. You got to be able to, and that's another thing too. If you get into sports podcasting, you can't just be, one-sided. Like, I understand you got a Saints fan if you're doing Saints podcast, but the Saints play the Packers. And you don't know. Like, a Packers fan might hit you up and be like, can you come on this Packers podcast to talk about the Saints and what you see? And you got to be able to put things in perspective. I mean, you got to know about the situation with Aaron Rodgers. You got to know about the comments of Devin Funches. You got to know about how Jordan Love is doing in training camp. Like, you have to stay dialed into sports because you never know when your number is going to be called, man. And that's exposure. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people on the State of the Saints podcast we see that's not Saints fans? We be having Ravens fans on there, Lions fans, Eagles fans, fans of the NFC South. So you have to be well-rounded. That's just some advice for all my Saints podcasters out there. Stay on your path, brother. Obviously, you have what it takes to make your story a success. I'm pulling for you. Akeem, I appreciate that. And, thank you for the love, the support, purchasing a T-shirt and everything like that, man. I thank you for that. Josh says, I thought about doing a podcast, but I don't desire to be a celebrity. I don't want any kind of fame at all. Josh, it's not about that. Like, and I'm glad you said this, Josh. And, I hope I ain't really putting you on the spot. We talk off the cuff, you know what I'm saying, through emails. But here's the thing, man. You're only what you feel like you are. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's in your mind, that's who you are. If you become successful doing a podcast, you don't have to act as if you know what I'm saying, Mr. Big Shot. You don't. You can still give people quality content and stay true to yourself. Stay humble. Like that, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you stay true to yourself, you stay humble, you stay well-rounded, then it really won't matter, man. But that's why I said at the beginning of this video, why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you know what you're doing it for. If you're doing it because you want to give people a perspective, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, feel like you have something to say, cool. But if you just want a whole bunch of women in your DMs and giving you pictures and want daps and hugs and, you know what I'm saying, just want an entourage like you Michael Jordan or something like that, my advice to you is maybe that just, maybe you shouldn't do it. Because it's it doesn't always pan out like that. And plus, you're going to fall off because it's not a real passion. Much love, Divine Nine, respect. Who that? Yeah, shouts out to you, Moose, man. Appreciate you for being here. Josh says, I'm just saying I don't want to be recognized at grocery stores. I understand that, man. But hey, if you're good at what you do, that kind of comes with it. That kind of comes with it, man. So I like living anonymous. Yeah. I mean, I understand people want to live a private life. But hey, at the same time, like you got a lot of people that recognize me from podcasts, but I'm walking around the streets. I'm on the airwaves every single day on 90.9. Don't nobody know what I look like. You know, like I get recognized from the podcast more so than getting recognized from me being on 90.9, and that's local. But if I'm at an event or something like that, and somebody come up to me, they'll recognize my voice. So, hey, you might have the perfect face for radio. Because there's a lot of people that have been on the radio for years, and people that listen to them don't know what they look like. LGS, thank you very much for the 499. Says, I'm a comic book author with a superhero story based out of New Orleans. I want to touch the young. This motivation is adding fuel to my fire. Thanks, TJ. LGS, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep doing, or sister. I don't know. LG, I mean, I don't know if you're a woman or a man. I don't want to assume. But whatever you're doing, make sure that you have the love and compassion for it, and be that motivation. You never know who's looking at you. You never know who's looking at you. You never know whose life you're affected. The greatest thing about doing this podcast is not about talking to, reporters and stuff like that, developing relationships. And the best thing is when people tell me stuff like, I started a podcast and, I'm saying, I appreciate you and, for help, helping me see that. That means a lot to me, more so than just talking to players and all, and reporters. And I mean, not shouts out to them, man. I have good relationships with them, but that means a lot to me too, man, because when I get behind that mic, when I get in front of this camera, I don't know who I'm talking to, really. I don't know who I'm affecting, and you don't know who you're affecting. So there's this song that they sing in church. They say, if I can help somebody, as I travel along this road, then my living will not be in vain. If you can help somebody in this lifetime, if you can affect them in a positive way, when you close your eyes, when your number is called, then your life had purpose. No matter if you're a millionaire, a thousandaire, a hundredaire, like if you touch somebody's life, then your life was worth living. There's nothing more important to me in this world than when one day when I close my eyes, that little boy that y'all see on camera that pops up every now and then looks at me and say, or tell somebody one day, I had a damn good dad. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like my dad. That means a lot to me, more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? That's my goal. You know what I'm saying? To be able to touch somebody's life while I'm here. And that should be your goal as well. Touch somebody today. Like, motivate, be somebody's motivation. Like even if you don't want to be somebody's motivation, live your life, so people can see that light in you, to see that passion in you, to see that drive in you. And don't just do it for the fame. Don't just do it for to be recognized. Do it because you love it and you can't live without it. That's all I got to say. I hope everybody has a good day. Hope everybody enjoy their weekend. You all take care. Much love to you, and be blessed. And for all my Saints fans out there, you already know. All I got to say is, who that?